Hello, everybody. Good to see you all again for session number 9, your beautiful, happy, shining faces. Yeah, today we're going to start talking about something called clustering. And once again, clustering relies on something really important called a captivating one-liner and the article or piece of content that you've written. And you're going to see that the effectiveness and the usefulness of that piece of content that you've written are going to really start coming into play. It's not just a piece of content, guys. It's a tool. That article and the one-liner that goes with it is a tool for you to be able to get to places that you've never been able to get before. And I'm going to show you how to actually do that and the importance of using that tool in the right place. And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, I don't know if I can get my one-liner right. Get it wrong, make a mistake, tweak it later, optimize it, and just keep working on it. And eventually you're going to come up with something awesome. Use that beautiful thing called a conversation circle, that little group of people. If you haven't been involved in a conversation circle yet, please talk to me. I'll make sure you're in a conversation circle and let other people around you listen to your captivating one-liner and give you content, give you information, feedback about your content. So I'm going to just show you once again, because of its importance, I'm going to show you what we've done for a couple of clients recently. So I'm going to show you a couple of the captivating one-liners of the week. And I'm just going to this is just for your imagination. So here's a couple of examples. So UK hotels, Amazon and Tesco have stolen half your staff. The few you have left are stuck doing annoying admin and jobs they didn't sign up for. This is an example of a captivating one-liner. Once again, look at who it's targeting. You put your target into the captivating one-liner. Amazon and Tesco have stolen half your staff. This is something that's involved in the UK at the moment. This is what's going on, because what's happening in the UK is a lot of these hotels have lost staff to these because they've become Uber drivers and delivery drivers, and e-commerce is pumping. So they're hiring a lot of the people that used to be in the hospitality industry. So this is an issue. Okay. And then you've got this beautifully designed article, or if you don't have it beautifully designed by a graphic designer or by us, then just post whatever you feel comfortable with. But what matters is you've got a very poignant piece of content around that. Okay, here's another captivating one-liner. You think your fleet of trucks is running smoothly until it becomes manslaughter and you and your directors go to jail. Hopefully I'm getting you guys to really think about your one-liners, guys, because this is like going to be so important. And I'm going to talk about clustering, and you're going to see how things come together. So this captivating one-liner goes out. You're using the link tracking process to track your clicks, and you're also potentially sending out emails. Now, as you guys know, we've got a full service option, and I'm going to be taking you through this beautiful dashboard called Maya that lead scores, because some people react to emails more than they do to LinkedIn messages, and some people prefer LinkedIn messages. So by combining LinkedIn and email together, you get a very, very powerful process. And I'm going to be doing a whole structure and a whole section on how you can start using drip email to really increase your leads and see some of the results that start to take place by combining email together with the messages that you're going out. However, what I've taught you guys so far with your captivating one-liners is right now all you need. And how you're working through that sales pipeline, because you've got the app, you've got your sales pipeline, you're sending out your one-liner, you're tracking your clicks, and then you're using the techniques that we're showing you. And these techniques are going to get more and more advanced, because coming up over the next few weeks, I'm going to have more special guests, and we're going to be teaching you some very cool stuff, like how to handle LinkedIn groups. Is it a good idea to even use LinkedIn groups? If you do, and people are commenting, et cetera, what do you do with them? How does that fit into your current process? We're going to show you what to say on the phone when you phone them. A lot of people hate picking up the phone unless it's booked into your diary and they've specifically asked for an appointment. How do you potentially proactively pick up the phone? What do you say to them so that you feel comfortable knowing that you're not phoning them to cold call them, that they're already warm? And we're going to take you through all these amazing tricks. So sales like completely from start to finish, from the simplest to the most advanced. So it's pretty exciting in terms of what's coming. And now today is this concept of a cluster. So you might have somebody in your database right now, and you think, I would really, really like to sell to this company. And you've gone through the sales funnel process. You've done your invitations. You've checked your acceptances. You've seen who's accepted. You've sent them your LinkedIn, your captivating one-liner using a LinkedIn message. You've probably started sending them that first technique that I taught you about a few weeks ago, your first secret technique, the concept of professional insight messages, professional insight statements, right? So you've sent a couple of those and there might be a bit of a conversation going, or maybe they haven't responded yet. And you really, really want to do business with this company. How do you expand your reach from one person within that company to a whole bunch of other people within that same company? It's so easy. Like what I'm going to show you now is one of the simplest tools that almost nobody uses. And once again, I always save this to the later sections because people who've stuck with me to session number 9, this is where you're going to start learning some very, very cool stuff. All right, so let me share my screen and I'm going to introduce you to the ancient, incredible art of clustering. Okay, so remember your beautiful sales pipeline. Do I really need to go through this again? What you're trying to get to, deals in progress, but to get to deals in progress, you need great conversations. To get to great conversations, high quality contacts. If you really paid attention to Cherie's class last week, you might have renamed these by now to something that's more suitable to you. And you might be moving them up and down your tabs depending on where you are. That, guys, is absolutely fine. You do what is comfortable for you. But what matters is you've got a sales pipeline sitting on LinkedIn and everybody in these 3 tabs is of high quality. All right. So what is a cluster? Cluster is a group of people in the same company. Okay. So let's take, for example, under my high quality contacts, let's just say, wow, Julian is the UK sales director, right? For this company that I really, really, really want to do business with. He's received my messages. He's got my article. He's not clicking. He's not engaging. I've tried to email him once or twice. Not a lot happening. Or maybe he is replying and I do have a great conversation going with him, like I've got with Terry. The clustering works for both of them. What matters is it's a company that you want to do business with, but the technique to approach them is very similar. Now, do you remember that you guys are sending out a nice little invitation message to those people that are specifically in your target audience? And in that invitation message, it says, I'm sharing with you, I'd like to share with you an article or a video I've done around this particular piece of insight. And then you paste your captivating one-liner headline in it. You're going to do the same thing, but with one subtle difference. All right. So now Julian should already be in your sales pipeline or wherever your person is. They're already here. You know you want to work with Julian and you specifically want to work with Julian in Julian's company. All right. So he's a UK sales director. He's the right guy, but we need to clearly expand our reach. So what do? This little button here takes you to his LinkedIn profile. Now, why do we want to go to Julian's LinkedIn profile? Because we're going to find other people at his company. Okay, so I'm going to go right now, okay? And I'm going to go and I'm going to say, right, field effect software. Here we go, field effect software, click on it again. This will take you, if it's a sizable company of any reasonable standing, to all the employees that work in that company. If it doesn't, LinkedIn will do its best to get you the employees anyway. But as you can see, field effect, of which Julian Ackley is the sales director. I'm going to copy his name, Julian, so I can remember who he is. I'm going to show you why that's going to be important later. I'm going to use the ancient art of name dropping. Now watch this. There are 121 employees at Field Effect. I'm only dealing with one of them right now, which is Julian. Wouldn't it be nice if I could try and get a relationship with 4 or 5 other directors? What a cool idea, right? So let me see who they are. See all 121 employees on LinkedIn. Wow, here they are. Cool. Do I want to narrow my search a little bit to maybe director or manager or head of? So I've got the more senior people. I could also maybe add chief to that if I wanted to as well. Okay, cool. So let's get them. Now, you'll find that you'll be able to connect with quite a few of these individuals because they will probably be connected to the individual who you're chatting to, Julian Ackley, who will then probably be connected with a lot of his fellow directors. So it's only a second degree. So what you can do, right, is you can find people that you really want to chat to. All right, so who do I want to chat to? Okay, let's say, for example, cybersecurity person, I'm not sure, guy, UK marketing lead. Bingo. I want to chat to Guy. So what do? Guess what? You just follow exactly the same process you did before, but with one slight change. What's going to happen when I click connect? By now, you should all know this. It pops up with the LinkedIn message. Right? Hi, Guy. I've just written a controversial article. I'd love to share it with you. You make one change to this, guys. Hi, Guy. I've connected with paste. Okay. If it doesn't let you type, it means you've run out of numbers. All right. So that's fine. You've only got 300 characters. So just delete a few at the bottom. All right. Let me try that again. I've connected with Julian Attlee around my controversial article titled I'd love to share it if that's okay. Bang. So what you've done, right, is you've named dropped Julian, who works with Guy, in order to help speed up the little process that you've created. This is called a cluster. So all you then do is you copy and paste, right? I'm just going to send this for now because he is kind of the right guy. Okay, so this is actually legit. This is actually somebody I'm dealing with. I need to tell you something to be careful of. Be very subtle and gentle in this approach. Don't say, I'm having an amazing discussion with Julian Attlee if you are not. You need to be honest. Just say, I've connected with Julian Attlee. Be soft, be truthful. If you're having a conversation with him and you're already going back and forth on LinkedIn, then say, I'm having a conversation with Julian Attlee around my article. I'd love to share it with you as well. And you can tweak the wording a little bit. But be careful you don't say, I'm having this amazing conversation with this guy if you're not. Because if the two talk to each other and the guy sits next to him and he goes, hey, Julian, I'm just chatting this guy, says he knows you as far on LinkedIn. And he goes, well, I don't know that guy. Then you can cause a bit of trouble. So just be truthful and be honest. And all you're doing is you're using the softness of your article to gently invite him to LinkedIn using the same process. And you send. And once again, it'll just follow the same process. It'll put his details in here. Okay, there he is, Guy Oakley. You've done it. Now you do exactly the same thing you did before. You check your acceptances. You wait till he accepts. When he accepts, put him in new acceptances. You send your message and you send your article to him, etc., etc. But the beauty about this process is that you can invite 5 or 6, as many as you want. Okay, who else do I want to invite? Shall I do Stephanie quickly as well? She's the people and talent. Not sure that's the right person. But you can basically find director of marketing. Yes, she could be quite good, but you can just basically choose who you want to connect with, and you just follow the same process, guys. And you can just do 5 or 6, and suddenly you've got a whole bunch of new people invited into your system, and then you just push them through the process, and then you started creating a cluster. If you want to go back and you want to go to Julian, right, or you want to create a tag, you could go into his details. And you could create a tag called cluster field effect. And this will create a nice little tag. And you can do the same with anyone else that's in here. So once these guys start accepting, you'll be able to tag them. You can't tag them yet because they haven't accepted yet. But once they've accepted, you can then create a tag, and then you can filter by tags. And then you only need to see everybody who has that particular tag. So if I want to search by tag, I can do that. There's some of the clusters that I've created in the past. And what you're doing now is you've started nurturing and working with several people in that organization in a gentle way. And all it takes is for one business meeting where they're talking about whatever it is that you're doing. And somebody says, I've been chatting to this Asfar guy. I've been chatting to the Scott guy. And they say, yeah, me too, actually. He wrote that article. Yeah, that's right. And suddenly you've got a bit of a conversation going around the boardroom. Also, you might find that some people in this cluster are more responsive than others. So maybe Julian is not active on LinkedIn and he's ignoring your emails, but one of the others directors might not. They might start taking you more seriously. So this is going to increase the chance of you getting that appointment. And guys, you just follow the process. Think about it. If you didn't have a captivating one-liner and you tried to name drop cold, and I would try to go to one of these guys, right? And I would say, hi, Jane. I reached out to one of your colleagues on LinkedIn and I thought I'd reach out to you too. It's not going to work. But when you say I reached out to your colleague around my article with this title, which is around one of your pain points, they accept left, right, and center because you've name dropped, but you've done it in a very, very gentle, unassuming way. So this is a really beautiful way of using the captivating one-liner as a tool to get more people around you in that particular cluster. Simple technique, guys. So all you need to do, guys, is for homework, is go onto some of your high quality contacts, and instead of necessarily going through the search process and trying to do that every time and going through brand new people, start inviting new people to your sales pipeline who are part of the same organization, so that you multiply the chances of getting to that organization. Just remember to tweak the message when you do. See the power of the captivating one-liner. It's soft and it's gentle and it's around content. So that's why people are generally quite willing to engage with you, because it's around the pain point. It's not around a sales pitch. Same thing applies with other things. I'm going to teach you some tricks. Somebody was asking earlier around, how do you get people who are responding to you in groups, or there are other places in LinkedIn where you found people. Same process applies. You reach out to them, you customize your invitation message to specifically to them. Oh, I see you in this group. I see you responded to so-and-so's message in this group. I thought I'd reach out to you and share my article with you entitled Captivating One-Liner. So soft, so gentle, so easy. You put them in the system, all managed through your process, moving through the sales process, ready to get to the point where you're getting a great conversation. I'm hoping that by now, guys, you should have some great conversations going with people because you know how to do it. If you're nervous or you are worried, just don't be. Just try. Send those messages out. Follow the process. Those professional insight messages that I talked to you about a couple of weeks ago, and what Cherie alluded to in last week's session 8, is once again the same process. Those professional insight messages get you a great conversation going. Once you've got a great conversation, then you are so close to getting that call. And we'll do some more work on how to convert those. Do you pick up the phone? How do you actually get that actual meeting? And that final part of the close or the conversion process to get them into that meeting. So we're gonna work with you on this. So we're gonna leave no stone unturned to help you guys get that meeting. But in the meantime, cluster. So easy. Let's go to all of them. Just go to the people that you've got. Go one by one. Invite them. Tweak the little message quickly. You can copy and paste it. So if I want to do Keith, for example, just go, hi, Keith, paste. Let's just pretend Keith is with the same company. Hi, Keith. Here we go. See, I've connected with Julian around my controversial article. Just pretend he's the same company. Done. Paste, send, click send. Guys, you can cluster 30 or 40 people in 15 minutes using this process. And that's high quality people within an organization that you want to work with. Okay. So that is the ancient art of clustering, guys. So easy. Get your captivating one-liner and the rest will just flow. So easy, so simple. I'm going to start a few questions, but in the last 5 minutes before I stop recording, I do want to chat to you guys. And I think this is going to be something that's going to come up quite a bit about what's been happening with LinkedIn over the last few weeks. Have you guys noticed that LinkedIn is really on the warpath, getting people to do things properly? They have limited the number of invites per week to 100 per week, no matter whether you're paying or not. They have made it more difficult to connect with people. They are popping up messages saying, do you know this person? They are emailing the database saying, please don't, be careful of accepting messages from people you don't know or trust. They are even stopping search URLs from being saved on the free version of LinkedIn. So if you're using the free version of LinkedIn, this might change. LinkedIn might change their mind down the line, but as it stands right now, you can't bookmark a saved search. That means some of these automation tools that scrape a whole bunch of searches, gone. They don't work anymore. So there's this kind of crusade that LinkedIn is on against automation, which is why the technique that I'm showing you and the process we're using is so slick and so simple. It doesn't bother LinkedIn. In fact, LinkedIn like it. Why? Because it's not sales orientated. It's customer orientated. It's content orientated. It's soft. It's gentle. The sales process that I'm showing you, and I'm going to allude to this in more detail down the line, is all about the idea that when you message people or you have conversations with people one-on-one, you build up a personal relationship with them. You don't talk about your product or service. The one-on-one and the messaging, even if it's on direct messenger or if it's face-to-face, is emotional. It's about them. It's about getting them to know, like, and trust you. It's about really getting them to understand that you care about their pain. You don't talk about your product or service. Trust me, over time, they're going to ask you about your product or service. And when they ask you about your product or service, just give them a very short pitch and then go back to them. Talk about them. Don't take them asking about your product or service out of politeness as an excuse to go into a half an hour rant about how amazing you are. No, give them a short little what's the word? Elevator pitch, and then go back to talking about them. Why? Because your one-on-one process with a client, direct message, or in front of them as a Zoom call or a video call, is all about them. It's emotional. That's the emotional connection. The rational connection, how much does it cost? What are the technical specs of whatever it is you're selling? What do you actually do? How do you do it? What's your process? That generally happens offline. The rational sell is offline or online on their website. In other words, it's off the one-on-one relationship building communication. So in other words, send them an ebook, send them a white paper, send them to your website, send them to an article, send them to a video, something that talks about your product or service and the pricing in more detail. That's going to generally happen offline. Why? Because when people can see you care about them and are interested in their pain and that you are an authority in their pain, in their industry with their job title, when they see you as this individual that knows how to solve their problems, that is interested in knowing about their problems, like a doctor. A doctor's not going to sell you cough medicine as soon as you walk in the door. The doctor listens and writes down, diagnoses, asks you questions. That's what you do in your one-on-one sessions. You're asking questions, right? Then offline, you can send them an email even with a link to a PDF with your services in it. Or you could send them to your website. That happens offline. They will, and here's the crux, guys, they will look for a reason to do business with you. They will hunt for a reason to spend money with you. They will really look to engage with you or give you a referral. If they know you and believe in you, that's why this whole methodology is all about you and your value and selling through your value and imparting your value, because they will go offline and they will hunt for a reason to either refer you or do business with you. That is the power of what we're teaching here. So just follow the process and just know in your heart of hearts that if somebody isn't replying or if there's a conversation going and they're not automatically ordering a product or service from you, or they're not signing up, or they're not going, yes, let's have a meeting today. If they're not jumping in your lap, don't feel bad. Be patient. They will. Keep the professional insight messages going. Do your follow-ups. One of the things we're going to do in the future, I'm actually going to bring in somebody who uses this process so well and has built an entire process on how they do it, what their pitch is on the phone, what messages they go out. If they replied, this goes out. If they haven't responded after the fourth phone call, what do you do? Literally an entire sales process around this, and you're going to learn how they've done it hugely successfully using this process. And they're going to give you some tricks on what to do. Diligence, diligence, diligence. If you just follow this process, guys, and you just keep going and you be strong within yourself and you know your own value. Please, I'm not trying to be your life coach. There's lots of other amazing life coaches out there that are way better than I am at this, but you've got to know your value. Be the messenger, right? Or the messenger or the communicator that you want to see in the world. You want people to ask lots of questions about you and your problem. Do the same for them. If you do that, guys, it's going to change everything. Okay, so I'm going to finish off now. We're going to Q&A. I will stop recording in a second. I hope the clustering process makes sense. Click, 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 go. If you're still struggling with your captivating one-liner and your content, either contact me. We can help you with that. Speak to somebody in your cluster, not your cluster, sorry, your conversation circle. If you're not in a conversation circle, ask me. I will put you in a conversation circle. Okay. Really useful technique. And guys, we're just going to keep going. Every week, we're going to learn more and more cool stuff. And every week, you're going to use this time to build your sales pipeline and just keep on growing. Guys, once again, really good session. And I really look forward to seeing you guys next week.